All right, good evening, everybody. I think we're going to get started here in just a second. I just want to do some housekeeping. Joy asked me to ensure that if you go back right around the corner over here, you're going to see 50 years of Tampa Bay tech. You're going to see a bunch of startups. You're going to see some white paper under there. If you see things that are missing, go ahead and pen them in. People, places that are missing, go ahead and fill it in. Because there's a lot that's been going on, and Joy was giving me kind of the rundown about things that even I forgot. Opening remarks. Tracy, we're running late. You want to come up here and join me?
What I want you all to know is this: I really appreciate this. You know, working on the tech community for the last 15 years and having all of you come out to support means a lot. And it means a lot of like what we've done, what we've been able to accomplish. And it's just, this is a whole night to kind of reflect on all the things that we can accomplish. You forget what you can, you think you can do too much in a day, but you forget what you can do in 50 years and what can happen. What can happen in 10, 15 years. And there's just, while we work together as a whole community, there's some amazing things that we can accomplish. But Zach and Danielle are over there. If you've bought tickets, go show them the receipt. They will give you your raffle tickets. There's a huge room over there with prizes. We're going to call some out in a few minutes and get some people into that room and start getting rid of these 140 gifts. Because it's my birthday, everybody gets a gift.
Thank you. You have a mic. I have a mic. Yeah. All right. I'm Sean.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
So I'm sorry. Evidently I didn't explain the whole raffle. So there's a video online, if you haven't seen it, of me doing this raffle thing. And it basically is homage to Billy Mays, because I figured that our scene on TV is pretty much a homage to Tampa Bay. So one of the things that we are doing is a raffle unlike any other raffle that I've been to. Most raffles you go to, they raffle one thing off and you win it, and it might not be what you want, and you're trying to trade it to someone else. This raffle works. Your number gets called. You get to go into that room. In that room is 140 prizes, from drones to podcasting equipment to aromatherapy equipment to everything you can think of. If you go to the website, there actually is a button and a link that will let you browse all of the items with descriptions that are in that room. There is no promise that they will still be there when you get in the room, but they are there now. And so we will draw some numbers. When those people get called, you get to go in the room and you get to pick one item only. And then we're done. That's pretty much it. Any questions? How do you buy tickets? You buy tickets online at springtechfest.com. Click the button, put the credit card in, do that. They are also taking cash over there. So do you see the long lines of raffle tickets, long lines of people trying to get raffle tickets? So get in line, get your raffle tickets, and then get in the room and get prizes.
Tracy, again, when are we calling these out? In a few minutes?
In a few minutes. As soon as we get this line down, after our first opening act, we will be calling 5 to 10 raffle tickets.
Got it. Maybe more. Tracy, thank you. Okay. All right, good evening, everybody. I'm Sean Davis. I was first introduced to the technology community here in Tampa Bay in 2008, and it has grown tremendously since. And I think we've got our next generation of technology founders right in the front row. Right? Oh, all right. Good evening, everybody. Organic growth.
Test.
Perfect. I think we're ready for the opening talent, which is Candace. Candace has done tremendous work across the country. She has done comedy all across the United States. Please welcome Candace to the stage.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All right, they told me to get you guys ready for the show. I have no idea what the show is, so this is going to be, I don't know why they would invite me to a tech event. I could barely turn this mic on, clearly. My comedy career is definitely going places I never dreamed I'd be performing in a mall on a Friday afternoon. This is good. Okay, you know what? Just a little bit about myself. They hired me to do stand-up, so I'll talk to you guys about myself. So I lost 15 pounds this year. Give it up for that. Thank you. But I had gained 83 pounds last year. And honestly, I feel like that's what's impressive, right? Like, anybody can lose a few pounds. You know how hard it is to gain 83 pounds in 1 year? I am amazing. I'm amazing. I went to my doctor for my annual checkup. She hadn't seen me in over a year. And I walk in the door and I'm a little bit smaller. And she goes, "Candace, look at you. I'm so happy to see you getting serious about your health." Bless her little heart. I am not losing weight for health. I'm losing weight for looks, obviously. Like, what is she doing? Slim this waistline down, improve my husband never came up to me like, dang, you look like you got low cholesterol. Like, never. Like, he's never. And then my doctor, she was like, she ran my blood work, and she goes, based on your blood work, you're perfectly healthy to get pregnant, but if you want to get pregnant, you should eliminate sugar and reduce carbs. That's what she told me. Eliminate sugar and reduce carbs. I'm looking at the ages of the faces here in front of me, and I know that some of you are old enough to remember crack babies from the 80s, so I feel like if women can get pregnant smoking crack, I can, then I'll be all right with Krispy Kreme. I feel like it's gonna be, okay, I don't have a medical degree, but I feel like it's gonna work itself out. As part of my weight loss journey, I got myself a personal trainer. Thank you. Here's what I'll tell you. If you get yourself a personal trainer, please get one that does not believe in you, okay? The ones that believe in you are stressful. I'm on the treadmill dying. He's like, go, 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 2 more miles, you can do it. Who told him that? Where did he get that information? It's erroneous. It's absolutely incorrect. I cannot do it. Somebody who's like more realistic. I need somebody who walks in the gym and takes one look at me and is like, you're too fat to do these burpees, so go over there and try some sit-ups. And I'm like, how many, 100? He's like, no, 2. Start with 2. Let's see if you die first. And then my personal trainer, he's ex-military, right? He's ex-military. So what that means is this. It's really good and it's really bad. So he does all of the exercises on a 3 count. I'll give you an example. Like, so I'm doing jumping jacks, right? He's counting like this. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. No, sir, I just did 8 jumping jacks. That was 8. I was right here the whole time. I counted. It was 8 jumping jacks. Who taught you math? Nope. Not about to Jedi mind trick me into more exercise. Nope, 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 nope. Oh my God. You know what? Tech crowd sounds like maybe a comic book crowd. Do you guys like comic books or no? I don't know if this is, oh, you know what? I got married in February. Clap it up for that. Thank you. We didn't do anything special for the wedding. We just went right on down to the courthouse and got married. I figure you might as well start a marriage the same place it's going to end, right there at the courthouse. Go down there, get to know the parking situation, just do my research. But for our honeymoon, we did something really special. For my honeymoon, we went to Paris and Rome. Yeah. Paris was extremely racially diverse. Did not expect that. But Rome, there are 0 black people in Rome. None, just none. None. Like, I was the one that was there, and I'm here now, so that's it. That's all. So if you're ever on a game show and they say how many black people are in Rome, just text me and see where I'm at, and then if I'm over here telling jokes in the mall, then ain't no black people in Rome. All right, you guys, we're trickling in. Let me just take a peek here, look at what's going on outside. My job is to get you guys ready. I think everybody is in here. Okay. You know what? I'll talk about Batman because he's my favorite character. I see a parallel, like billionaires wanting to dress up and be superheroes, right? You got Tony Stark and Bruce. Anywho, Batman happens to be my favorite superhero. Couple of holes in the plot, though. I don't understand why villains come into Gotham specifically. Like, why they don't know that every other bad guy got completely annihilated. If it was me, I would take my villainy to Boston or St. Louis or something. Give it a try where it has a chance, at least, where I have a chance of success. I think that reason why villains keep coming to Gotham specifically is because Commissioner Gordon is completely incompetent. He has done nothing to decrease the crime in that city since like the 50s, and they just keep re-electing this dude. What kind of Marion Barry supporters does he have? Gotham great again? What are they doing? Like, why do they keep re-electing that dude? The thing that I don't understand the most is why do people still live in Gotham? What? I'm trying to move out of Palm Harbor right now, right now. Thank you, I appreciate that. At least something's going right about this. Oh, okay, this is a birthday boy's family right here. His lady friend, his mom, and this is his brother. Oh, he told me he hates you right before the show. He said there's gonna be a super blonde lady right in the front row. I can't stand her. That's what he told me. All right, I'm sorry, what is it that did we figure out what she does? She's an international woman of mystery. Oh, you're gonna be roasting him? I don't know much about him, but I can tell you I've done a lot of roasts, and you can't really go too far. You can't really go too far on roasts. That is my professional opinion. I'm usually way funnier than this, so you could take my advice. Yeah, nothing's too far. On a roast, they're expecting you to dive right in. So whatever you scratched off the list, put it back. Nice. She's gonna be extra vicious. I can already tell. I can already tell. I used to live up north. I was at a grocery store. I think it was, I want to say Maryland or Virginia. I can't remember. And it had like a robot, like that goes up and down the aisles, and people like were just casual. Robot just going down the aisles. It was like scanning for like inventory and stuff like that. And I guess these people they were like accustomed to this robot. I was freaked out. I was like, oh my God, the future is now. Like, what is happening? And it's just a robot just going up and down the grocery store aisles, just checking for things. Do you know about the robot? Okay, but is that part of the modernization process? Okay, all right. We all want to know, is Publix getting a robot? That's all we want to know. So not like for the shopper's experience, stuff in the background, like taking inventory, doing the books, that type of stuff. Boring. All right. Thought we were getting a robot. Okay, so there's a blueprint. So somebody has like a dream, like this is blueprint of what I want to happen. And then you program the thing to make this blueprint into a reality. Is it a robot? That's all I want to know. Okay, yeah. So you build like the little pieces that make bigger things. So you make things happen. That's really cool. Aerospace and defense industry. Can you even be here right now? Are we not supposed to know who you are? Like, this is top secret. Do we have to self-destruct after this conversation? That sounds very... Good job. Thank you. Clap it up for that guy. Very interesting. Ready for the actual show?
Can we get a big hand for Candace, please? And I want to say thank you for not teaching my kids any new words. Thank you. Come on up. Let's draw 5 raffle tickets. Tracy, you want to join me? Get up here, young guy. You taking a nap? All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. Sure.
I've always wanted to be.
Do you guys want to pick? You want to come up here and pick? You get up here. I don't know who you are, but come up here and pick one.
His kids get to pick. Each of you pick one.
Watch your stage feet.
Good job.
All right?
Thank you. What are these?
All right. It is 625-263. 625-263.
I guess it's somebody.
Hang on to this. Do not lose that. Yep, right there. Yep.
Oh, we have one?
We got one? Yep. Come on up.
Okay, it's one.
625-263. Are we sending them in the room? If you got the ticket, go in the room. Please. Second one? Whose is this? Did you pick this? 625-221.
I'll match them.
Okay. 625-221. These are drawn by amateurs. Okay? 625 221. Is it the same guy?
I'll make some better, I swear.
Way to go, guys. 625 221, and it might be.
Maybe you want to guess?
We don't know. All right. Let's try this one. 625 310. 625 310. Where's Tracy? Okay. All right. 625 369. Yeah. All right. Show of hands, who has not yet bought a ticket? Okay. I think half of you are lying. But you bought one? You're about to all regret not buying these tickets. All right. 625 434.
Oh, yay!
I think that's what, 3? Is that 3? 4. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Pick. Give me that. Give me that. Who are you? 625 233. 625 233. All right. There you go. All right, guys. Take the safe way off the stage. That way. Follow her. Follow her. All right. Let's see what they come out with.
They passed the security test. I didn't win.
What do I got? One more? All right. Let's try this again.
Good job, Zach.
Let's try this again.
I picked at random.
You picked at random?
I picked at random.
Okay. 625 348.
There we go.
There we go. You two should talk to your mom about buying tickets, because I think you're going to miss out on some really good stuff. Joyce said there's a drone in there. All right. All right. Our next event, excuse me, our next event is Fireside Chat, and that is Joy Randall's and Fritz Eichelberger. And if you know either one of them, both have been a staple of the technology community here for a long time in Tampa Bay. Fritz has been running Hot Spaces. Joy has been an entrepreneur, startup, CEO. If I can welcome both of them to the stage, please. Got one. I only have one mic.
Really? We have one mic?
I think we only have one mic, yes.
We had two earlier. What'd you do, eat it?
I might have. Thank you.
You can see how kind we are. Actually, I love Sean. So,
How's it going?
this will be fun. We get to hand things back and forth. Oh, well, you probably like unicorns better than me, so it's probably good at the end of the day. I was giving out unicorn poop earlier. Nobody will kill the unicorn. So I think we're just going to kind of go through a little bit. Tracy asked if we would go through the history of tech in the Tampa area. So I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then, yeah, you do have some snazzy shoes today. I like it. I'm like, anybody have any idea what the largest PE deal was here last year? Private equity company bought something here. This will be a little tricky one because I'll give you two. So if you guess either one of them, the top two, I'll go with that. But they acquired controlling interest or acquired a whole company in this case. Both are technology. One's a technology company. The other one's an educational institution with a whole bunch of tech that came along with it. Yeah. Nope. 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 No, that was an acquisition. Dear God, IMG Academy was bought last year for $1.45 billion. Tampa Bay is 9 counties. Well, then you'll really hate the other one because the second one was Roper Technologies, which is really in Sarasota. IMG is actually in Bradenton. And that was $1.25 billion. KnowBe4 took $381 million and did $381 million in revenue last year.
So Roper does billion-dollar deals almost every other week, either buy or sell.
Helios, right? It's like
Yeah.
on the other side. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, right? And it's interesting though. Anybody ever heard of Geographic Solutions? Oh, okay, so for the people who have, you would actually know that they are the company that actually does the second largest company here behind KnowBe4 from a revenue perspective. How about Nextech? FinTech? Payments platform? Yeah. Those are all some pretty big guys too. So I'm going to actually have Fritz talk now. So talk about the early days here, because I mean, there's a difference between technology and technology-enabled companies. Not that either one of those are bad, and IT departments. So there's a lot of things that happened that laid the foundation for where we are today here that most people don't know about or have any idea how many technology workers are in our community.
My name is Fritz. I own a recruiting firm. I've been doing networking events for the tech community since 1998. The Pure and Shameless Tech Socials, if you've ever heard of them.
There's pictures outside, even of you.
I didn't see them. Used to get 200 to 350 plus people. The biggest event was a charity event. We had over 500 folks, if you'd ever been to the Blue Martini, packed to the gills, including outside. So trying to relaunch them. COVID wasn't a fun thing for a lot of things, and large meetings like that was one of them. So hopefully, message me, send me an email, we'll get you on there. So I've been working the tech community since '98. Kind of a little bit of a historian at this point. It's always fun going to events where people say, oh my God, it's great to see that now that we're a tech community. And which is fine, I understand, in your world, but I mean, we can go all the way back to ABR was acquired for about $1 billion in the 90s by Ceridian. You all know Ceridian. Well, ABR was a Palm Harbor company, building all the technology around payroll, HR, and that sort of stuff. And this market is rich with those firms. TradeX, when you said
the first unicorn, right? So just so we're clear, before anybody knew the term unicorn, we had a multi-billion-dollar company here.
We have that one, and quickly we had Intermedia right behind it. So when people say big exits, in 1999, a company called TradeX, doing e-commerce exchange, local startup, was acquired by Ariba, if you've ever heard of Ariba. That deal was $1.9 billion stock. The day the deal closed was the peak of NASDAQ in 2000. Ariba stock tripled, so the deal value was about $5.6 billion. Unfortunately, when that was a deal that closed, you got to sit on, you can't sell the next day, you got to sit on it for a while. But that's okay, I'm not crying for Daniel. He walked away with between $500 and $750 million. Right. So, I've seen it all from the original Internet Business Alliance, IBA, where Anton Hopin, if any of you deal with IP attorneys, he was one of the founding members, Lauren, me, and a few others. We did the whole making that a nonprofit. We brought in congressmen to talk to us about technology. We were lobbying about tax laws for tech in '98. There were a couple other smaller networking groups. And at that point of just going out, meeting, and going to all these events, it was just amazing to see one company down the street from another company, and they had no clue whatsoever, and each one had 20, 50, 100, 500. Other than GTEDs, GT or what's known as Verizon. Everyone knew there because it seemed like almost everybody worked there. But there was just so many little companies, and those are the crazy days. A little company called GVN, he sold for $50 million to a company that's now Telabs. And Geo was his name, Vietnamese man, I forget exactly. Nobody's ever seen him ever since. He bought some private island. So, it's just amazing to see Even tonight, I've learned about a couple of companies I've never heard of that are in this area. So as hard as I've been working, as the database that I've got of thousands of companies, I've been amassing a database of all the transactions, buy, sell, capital raises for the last 20 plus years. And don't let anyone fool you. This is a deep, rich community. And thanks to TradeX and Intermedia, we, for the longest time, actually had more billion-dollar unicorns than Manhattan, New York City, for the longest period of time until like the mid-2000s that it all of a sudden blew up. So.
The other thing, so it's interesting. Let me talk about Norm Worthington for a minute, because I think people don't, you and I were talking about that before this. So there's a gentleman who lives on Siesta Key in Sarasota today. His name's Norm Worthington. His first company was a company called Software Toolworks. He went to school at New College and he built this company. And for people who are not 40 years old, you probably don't even know what that is, but you might have heard of this tool called Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing, because she taught more people to how to type than any other thing ever has in the world. Yeah, that was their product. So Norm and two buddies lived in a crappy place with 3 beds and 3 computers, and they made that product in 4 months. And they sold that company for almost $1 billion. They took no venture capital, by the way, just so we understand, right? They grew it with nothing. And each of them went off to found other companies. He founded, I'll spare you several of the ones in between, but there's a company called CopyTalk that he founded. It's still running today, by the way.
CopyTalk is still.
So he and a gentleman named Mark Famiglia founded that company. It's still operational today.
Start to Star.
And then Start to Star, which had another nice, lovely exit, because Norm said, I don't think I've ever built a company to $100 million. I think I want to go do that. Because he can. He actually funded one of my companies. He's done some other things, but a lot of people would have no idea who that is. There's guys like Kurt Long, who is on company number 4 now. The last company he took no venture capital in, so when he sold that company to private equity, he took all the money. So we've got a lot of people that sort of play behind the scenes here. Guys who, if we think about old school, like there's some pictures on the wall outside, you'll see there's a group of good humans on one side and a group of not so good humans on the other side that are out there. But John Morrow, sure. Jim West, yeah. Right?
John West.
Sean Hughes. Yep. I don't know.
I mean, I was going through the list. It's so endless, from the Persistent to Digex to Media Browser. Media Browser was an interesting one. Friends and family plus some VC, they raised $1 million. Their concept, late 90s, they wanted you to put on your computer screen a marketing thing, and they actually got NASCAR and a few other companies, and it would fit on your screen, and then somehow you'd go to their website and all that. It didn't survive.
Yeah, so we talked about No before. So how many people know that Stu Sauerman had a company before that? Here. That's still operational today. Yeah,
Sunbelt, Viper.
Yeah. So Catalina Marketing, which was the first company to kind of put salespeople's, instead of prompting them with an email, they would actually tell the salesperson what to say on the call, literally. And they were interpreting the data, so they actually ran AI before anybody thought that was cool or knew what it was really. And they would actually prompt the salesperson on exactly what to say on their call to close the deal. So that company's still here. All the guys who are part of that have funded a number of companies since that time.
It's great to see, as the community's matured, as wealth has been created from all these ideas, that you're seeing the second, third, fourth generation, that in these companies that were created, the frontline management, executive, they all got money. Now all of a sudden, now they're creating their own other things in their own. It's security. You don't know before, but there's so many security companies. This is one of the richest security, and a lot of that thanks to what Stu did with Sunbelt,
yeah.
And building that massively and growing a large organization out of that. And then now you got Know Before, Relia, Quest, and you just on and on. All these little ones, A-Line. Tons of little security, or even big security companies.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to kind of look.
Excuse me, and then even ConnectWise. Arnie sold for $1 billion plus. I figured it was 70 to 100 of the employees all collected $1 million or more, And if you follow them closely, they've created now another 15 to 20 different companies of varying sizes, just leveraging their expertise, targeting the managed service provider space. It's a phenomenal time. And what's really good, so there was a company, Charlotte, if you know Charlotte Baker, she owns Digital Hands, kind of an outsourced security company. She was part of Intermedia that became $1 billion company that's now part of Verizon. From there, took the money, the contacts, built a company called Second Century Telecommunications. And Mike McAlpin out of Orlando, a university professor, although he may have done a little bit more than that in previous lives. So Second Century in the 90s, it was telecom, and more importantly, it was go big or go home. And they raised $135 million and spent that as fast as humanly possible, crashed and burned. I remember a conversation around 2009, 2010 with Tom Wallace. We were at St. Pete, and I looked at Tom. I said, Tom, there's no better time, no cheaper time right now to create a company. You can outsource all of it. You don't have to buy the software. You don't have to build a data center. You don't have to do the marketing, because then Twitter was a thing, and all so many, and even now it's just so much easier. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got, if I think about it, there's what I would kind of call like this group that happened before, actually we happened, right? There's those guys who were building those companies back then. There's the Tom Walls, the Jim West, right?
A lot of money.
Right, and so they were there, and then there's this next group that came in, and I would consider myself to be a part of that group. And that's people like me and Greg Ross Monroe's here tonight, and Steve Tingaris, and I love Greg. No booing.
Greg booed himself.
Hey, just as an FYI, he could be on the other side of the bridge, hanging out in his Airbnb, waiting for the race tomorrow. So be nice, okay?
He took care of me. I'm happy.
Okay, there you go. So there's this whole other group that kind of came behind that are probably ones that the youngest people in this room might have heard of, right, and going through that. But when I hear things like there was a posting about Startup Weekend being the first Startup Weekend here, I laugh out loud. And then, it'd be really cool if we had a Techstars program here. FYI, we've done that. So there's all these things that have kind of happened. We had the startup bus, and Greg, please correct me if I'm wrong, or if Mitch is in the room yet.
Yeah, we went to Sarasota.
He can correct me. Our startup bus that's come from Florida has won more times than any other in the country. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, Joey? Right? Yeah. I mean, so when we talk about things like we talk about the talent's been here a long time. I was sitting in a room when a local politician who shall remain nameless, although everyone will know who I'm talking about, said, it'd be really great if we had more tech people here. I'm like, you don't understand. We have plenty of tech people here. They just happen to get on airplanes and go to other places. I'm like, I see them. I've been doing it since I moved here. And the same people get on the planes every week, so it's not a new thing.
But if I can, that's part of the immaturity and still the learning experience of the tech investors, the tech builders, because the politicians know the real estate folks, they know the lawyers, they know the medical folks. Because they're aligned, they give money and they get attention paid to. That was one of the efforts of the IBA and why we were successful in getting different congressmen and others, mayors and stuff, to talk to us, because we were targeting them in a way that made sense. And even though the TBTF is more education, you're starting to see some activity, because it's great to see some of the mayors show up. Because I mean, I recall having talks with councilmen or state senators or whatever, and it's just absolutely clueless. They barely knew how to use their Palm device or whatever. So
no, you're right. No, but I mean, I think that's very true, and so I think that people have kind of adopted this. We want to do startups, we want to do tech because it's cool, not because they actually understand what it is. And there's still a lot of education to go into that. I think they're getting better. I will say that. I think even locally they're getting better at understanding that. But we haven't had anyone here in government who advocated for tech who actually understood it. Let me be really clear. I say it again. We have plenty of advocates, no one who actually understood what it does. And so that's a challenge, because when you're going out trying to recruit things and bring it in or get other people to understand, if you can't speak to it and you can't speak to the impact for the fact that, for every tech worker, meaning somebody who's building a technology product, let me be really clear, you're building software, hardware, I don't really care which one, we create 5 more jobs. It's not my number, by the way. That's a number that's come out of research.
Sales, operations,
Right.
all of it.
So there's all of those other pieces. And so you get all these jobs that are really great paying jobs. And so there's just this lack of understanding. So talk a little bit about, what do you think are some of the events or things that have happened here locally that have really kind of brought us to where we are?
Oh, it's great to see the large corporations support it. It's great to see the university support it. In the late 90s, early 2000s, University of Tampa actually built the first incubator. That dean, he's long retired, well ahead of his time, really trying to push, I forget his name that's retiring now,
Ron Vaughn.
Ron, he was really trying to push Ron approved it, gave him some space, said go do with it. And for a pretty period of time, we were bringing in all the tech CEOs, lunch and learn, where they were closer than you. I mean, literally, it's 15, 20, 30 folks, how to raise money, how to spend this, and then when you do, and here's my pitch, and here's my presentation. And unfortunately, University of Tampa got distracted. He left, and they killed all that. But it's great to see USF involved in it, all the other schools involved, because you need big money, you need institutions that are gonna be around for a while. You need the folks that have sold, the Bellinis and the others, to who've got the deep pockets, can allocate the time, can fund folks to build out an organization around that. And you're starting to see that. That's been planted. And it's just going to be fun to see what this community continues to mature into over the next 10, 20, 30 years.
What about the industry? So let's talk about, because the industry shift, right? So there's kind of like what the industries were originally and then where we are now.
I have pissed off so many people because they say,
Go ahead,
we're
I
a
don't care.
healthcare market. I'm at an EDC meeting. They spent $1.5 million on some consultant who comes up with a chart and says, well, we're healthcare and we're banking and we're this. I go, no, you need like 30 more circles. We're embedded manufacturing, we're space, we're electronics, we're medical, and not just medical, but we're healthcare payments, we're healthcare insurers, we're healthcare analytics, and on and on and on. And there's so many, probably the greatest thing, not only the fact that it's a melting pot of Floridians, people who came down 75, the Midwest, and the people who came down 95 who got tired of Jacksonville, hated Orlando, and don't like Miami. And so you got just an absolute melting pot of cultures, personalities, super smart people, and this is an incredibly friendly environment for startups as well. Just to distract, one of the greatest startups in town is Outback Steakhouse. If anyone knows, it was built here. Their pitch to get money was 5 slides. One was who they are. One was the inside of the restaurant. One was the blooming onion, and I think the fourth one was the restaurant packed with cars overflowing. And then the 5th slide was how much money they were making. And that's been flipped now twice for like $3+ billion. So, and there's, think of it, from restaurant, hospitality, there's so many startups here. And in all sorts of industries you could probably think of. So it's a great area to be.
I think there's tons of startups in the area. And I think when you think about tech, though, most people don't really realize, because it's interesting you said health, right? So people say that. And there have been some interesting healthcare technology companies that have come from here. So please, if anyone's in that space, don't come after me on this. But we did some research. So I've been the entrepreneur resident at University of Tampa for a while. So I leveraged the 1 billion subscriptions that they have to kind of do this. And so we did the historical piece. Ironically, the majority of the well-funded and best exits for tech here fall into 2 categories, and health is not one of them. It is fintech, not surprising, shouldn't be surprising, and cybersecurity. And those 2 have generated more than all the others combined. Now, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the others, and there certainly are lots of really good health tech companies. I mean, think about, I think Travis got a really bad rap. Everybody wanted to come after him after CareSync failed. But I mean, the guy had built another big company. And even with CareSync, not every startup isn't going to be a success. And 300 employees.
He built Bond Technologies, which is now still part of Allscripts. He built CareSync, raised $50 million, that died. Okay, fine, now he's on his third or fourth or fifth venture. But even within healthcare, there's so many, whether, again, payer insurance, there's so many healthcare. I had no idea there was a healthcare analytics field, and there's bunches of these companies in town, 40, 50, 200, 300 employees. Quite a number of them have sold. Not the billion-dollar transactions, but 20, 30, 50. I was going through the list of all the transactions over 100 million. I think we've had over 50 different transactions over $100 million in this broader region. And that's not really including Roper, because Roper I almost see as a controlling company that buys and sells assets.
Right.
And lots of them, and lots of billion-dollar ones. So, I mean, that number would be escalated tremendously.
So say that number again, please.
Which one?
How many?
Over 100 million, it's at least 50, if not, it's somewhere between 50 and 100.
Right.
With about a dozen in the billion-dollar.
Right.
You know, a nice little company, it's part of BMC now, Blue Ocean. So Blue Ocean he sold it for $25 million, great. 7 months later, that investment group sold it to Intuit, if you've heard of Intuit. Sold it to Intuit for $175 million. Intuit did their thing for it. They flipped that property for $275 million. And on it became, I think it's BMC now.
I think you're correct. So it's like, I was looking that up and I couldn't find it.
Same asset sold 5 or 6 times for.
But there is a common thread on these big exits, and it's enterprise, right? I mean, if we think about it, like we're not the consumer, we're not the consumer town.
The biggest issue where a lot of people don't recognize them, because we're not Google, we're not typically a to a consumer, as you say.
B2C.
But businesses know us. Lots of, I mean, who doesn't know Tech Data? Tech Data, well, you could argue they're a distributor. Yeah, sure. Until the board tasked JT, well, I forget the CIO's name, he's long retired, but then JT built what at the time was probably the largest electronic processing system in the world. They were pushing something like 85, 95% of all their $25 to $30 billion. And this is going back into the late 90s, early 2000s.
We actually distributed several of my products through Tech Data. Most people have no idea that actually they did everything there in the facility, and so we would send the masters out and they took care of everything for us.
That was the process, and then they evolved into just a massive SaaS distribution organization. And that's right here with folks making great money. Catalina marketing with their
the inside sales reps at Tech Data. We're driving freaking Ferraris. What are you talking about? Like people don't understand.
Same with the ConnectWise, the Blue Ocean folks. You couldn't get. That was fun.
So for some people, I'm like, some of us up here, we like cars. So not for us.
Park mine far away. You're not gonna hit it.
Right. So that actually brings up a good point, though. So I think one of the other things that we don't ever really talk about is the influence that big tech companies had on our community, because there's actually a lot of them that either opened an office here or a big contributing factor, and particularly to the talent pool.
So you bring up an interesting point, because in the last few years, the large enterprises have started to get involved into the Tampa Bay Internet Forum, whatever it's called now, TBT, and various other groups. You'd make pitches to them 10, 15, 20 odd years ago, and the CIO, whoever would say, no, our board doesn't give us the risk profile to take the risk of bringing in your startup software company. It's too much of a risk. We can't do that. And you see them getting involved in the community. You've seen them, whether it's Jabil, Nielsen, and others. I think Nielsen had a hackathon. They brought in some folks. Here's some data. Go do some cool things with it. And so it's been fun to see over the last 20 years how the larger enterprises have started accepting the smaller companies, either as potential acquisition targets, how to better utilize whatever it is that they're doing. It's cool.
I mean, I think we have, to your point, right, and think about the companies that have moved here, right? If we look at it, so like Rapid7, like moving things here, right? We have like these companies that are very large companies that have augmented the workforce here. Like they saw the talent pool. Is what I think is interesting is they didn't just move their people here. So I sold one of my companies to CA. CA opened their sales office. They moved moved everyone from New York here.
And CA at some point had over 1,000 people in this market.
They did. And well, now it's Broadcom, right? So Broadcom bought CA.
Irwin
Yeah.
and everything.
So there's kind of all this other stuff. But I mean, moving their talent pool, so they gave people who worked for the company at the time, I was not at the company, I'd left long before then, but they gave them the opportunity to relocate. And about 75% took that option. And who wouldn't? If you lived on Long Island and you could move here at that point in time, you'd have been like, yeah, sign me up.
There's a couple of points there. So one of the reasons I started the networking events, and particularly on Thursday, any of you in the 90s, 2000s, traveling consultants, you go on Monday, you come back Thursday, and the airport's right there, Blue Martini, boom, let's go network. And that was a good crowd of the folks. So what a lot of people don't understand is how many thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people were working remotely, already living here before COVID, whether IBM consultants, Accenture consultants, you name the firm, because all they had to be was near a great airport. And housing at that point was extremely affordable. Great. Fast forward to today, and with COVID and being able to work from home and doing work from anywhere, my estimate right now, it's between 1,000 and 1,500 Google employees are within 70 miles of downtown Tampa, working remotely. Amazon, AWS, and other entities within Amazon, they're in that 600 to 1,000 tech workers spread out around here. They're not going to events, they're working from home, they're doing their things. It'd be nice to try to market to them, and I will try because I built a database of those folks to try to get them out to whatever events when I start having them again. Hopefully they will, but you would be stunned to find out how many companies have so many employees out here and just quietly doing things.
I mean, it's interesting because I went to an event about a month ago that was kind of in between, and it was interesting to me because I showed up and I knew probably half the people in the room. There were a few of the OG people, and there were a lot more people like me. The other 50%, I had no idea, but most of them, when I talked to them, weren't like new startup founders. They were people like you're talking about. I mean, these were people like, oh, I just saw this thing, and so I decided to come out and see if there were some more people like me, right?
Looking for a community to be part of.
Yeah, and so I think, when I was at the Tampa Bay Innovation Center, they had their showcase event, and it was really cool to walk in because I saw some people I hadn't seen since pre-COVID, which is crazy. Some of those people are here tonight, and then I saw some new people, so other people tonight that are from the old group. But what was really cool to me is then I saw like a whole group of startup founders that I kind of knew from around the community and things like that. But there's this other like 30% of the room that I'd never seen before. And that's freaking awesome because, to see those people come out, it means that we're doing something right, I think, at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting because for many years I'd go to every single tech event. Just about knew everybody knew me, because I'm a salesperson at heart, so I'm better to be known than not to be known. It makes it easy to try to sell you something. And then with a good memory, and then connect people, and then introduce people to others, that it has fostered all sorts of friendships, relationships, jobs, hires, sales, whatever. And fortunately, karma comes back to me in terms of business, because I'm not retired yet. And I saw a picture of, there was some kind of a luncheon of a bunch of local tech CEOs. And thanks to COVID, killed a lot of events. I haven't been out as much. And I looked at it, I knew 2 of the 15 people on that picture. I was like, holy shit, that was mind-boggling. I messaged one of the friends, dude, I need to connect to da.
So I think that's cool. So let's ask them some questions, right? So why don't you guys let us know, what would you want to know, or what do you know? If you got something to contribute that you think would be really relevant, then please do that, because there's certainly some people in this room who have things to know. Hey, Sarah.
Just nothing. Just speak positively about the events. Serendipity can happen when you go to these events. You meet someone, you make a sale, you make a lifelong friend. I've lost track of how many of the tech socials I've done over 20 plus years. Here, Orlando, Lakeland, did a few in Sarasota, and it's thousands upon thousands. And the thing is, my database is multiples of that the message gets out, and a lot of folks can't go, it's too far, whatever, but it helps. I've helped build some kind of a community, and people reach out, hey, I need some introduction. So the advice is it's show up. You don't help, volunteer. If you see, take an initiative. Don't start your own networking event or talk to whoever it is that runs this and say, hey, have you thought about this angle? Let's see if we can get 15, 20 people together, and all of a sudden word gets out and it becomes 50, 100 folks that are deeply focused on that. I saw the initial notes on this, user groups, whatever. There must be about 200 local user groups in all sorts of technologies that you can imagine. Go to Meetup, go to their own.
There's actually 700 and almost 757
tech-related meetups.
Yep, it's crazy.
Oh, but you're including Sarasota again. So
No.
you take out those 3.
No, I'm not. Actually, this is not my number, by the way. When Daniel took over at Tampa Bay Technology Forum,
Yeah.
when he actually did this and reached out to all the meetups because he
Insane
contacted
number.
us. I know, but when you try looking at it, it's really for real, which is crazy. Now, half of them are not active, right?
Varying
But
levels of
there's
active,
yeah.
But there's some super passionate ones.
There
Whatever
are.
new technologies are out there. So if not through this channel, there's other channels you can easily get involved in. But just show up and go. If you're going to be in this, especially if you're going to be in this community for a long time.
Yeah, so I would say I'll give because we were talking about the good, the bad, and the misunderstood. So I will say trust but verify will be my word of caution. And that's all I'm going to say on that. There's some things on that. I think that outside of that, though, I would say don't just find your tribe. Kind of to Fritz's point, because it's easy to gravitate to people like us, and we love that. And I'm not saying don't go with your tribe, because you'll find the people. If you're a designer, like the Tampa Bay UX group is the bomb. I mean, I was just telling you, like, they are super active, super
events
passionate.
they
They
do.
are amazing. But go find another group that isn't maybe the people you would normally hang out with, but are in the tech field, because you'll meet some different people. You'll look at things from a different perspective, and I think that's super helpful at the end of the day.
I'll tell you, some of the greatest developers I've placed in their early 20s, it was their uncle that was an IBM programmer and got them this, or they got a computer, and just a natural engineering mindset, curiosity, just being exposed to that. And the great thing about getting them at that younger age and on a more broad basis, because again, serendipity, not everyone can have an uncle that's a programmer, although there's a lot more, I think. Oh, nice. And so, because in town, JA has an alliance where they have some kind of a community. The kids spend a day, they work like a cashier and whatever. I remember a million years ago, I said, instead of doing this, why don't you just bring in some developers and whatever? And these kids are doing, what's the
Minecraft.
They're creating stuff. They just build on that and
We
that
do
kind
have
of
that,
awareness.
Fritz.
So, huh?
We do have that.
Well, I'm sorry. This is 15 years ago when I was arguing for that.
Yeah, I think it was 15. When did Ken? When did the alligator code thing start? Like a decade ago? What's that? Alligator code, right? Like when did they start that in the libraries? Was it like a decade ago? Is that about right?
At the library.
Yeah, for all the kids.
Yeah,
So-
this is junior achievement. All the kids that I
Yeah.
think third grade go through.
Yeah, so they were doing it. I mean, and it's free, right? So it's a nonprofit. There's one here. There's one in Sarasota. There's one in Bradenton. So there are these groups, which I think is awesome. I will tell you, to kind of echo what Fritz was talking about, my two best co-founders, I've built and exited 10 companies. Both of them taught themselves to code when they were kids. And, they were just rock stars, even compared to the guys who were educated at places like Stanford. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. And so I do think it is that natural curiosity. It's something that,
Yeah,
people are like, hey, I want to do that.
No, it's great because a lot of those kids, they may have that engineering ability, but not the exposure to it. So it's great to see that.
Like the robotics groups, like the robotics things are really big in the school systems around
Oh my
here.
God,
And
they
they've
were
done
so
amazing.
huge at UT that you'd go to the robotics competitions. They were the
Yeah.
greatest things.
Terry
to go to.
Willingham, who's in this building, is the one who promotes those. So Roboticon. So that's her thing. So it's like, did she come back? Is she here, or is there? I know her people are here. So Terry wasn't feeling really well today, but yeah, she's been doing that forever with First Robotics, and pretty amazing. So we're starting to see, so for a long time, everybody said there's not enough money here and people can't raise venture capital and there's no venture capital. Speaking as someone who's raised a whole lot of venture capital, I would say that the reality is if you build a company that is venture fundable, you can get funded. VCs now allocate 20 to 25% of their portfolio to places not where they are. So Silicon Valley is allocating that money to other locations. The companies that raised big money here didn't raise it here. They raised it somewhere else, but nobody said, pack your stuff and please move to California or Boston or New York. So I would argue that that's a lame statement, even though we're seeing certainly early stage funding pick up here. There are legitimate early stage venture capitalists here now.
I say more people just taking the risk and building something. You'd be amazed if you build something really cool. You'll get folks that'll follow you on that path. The service provider community, whether the patent attorneys, the finance attorneys, the CPAs, on and on and on. There's a whole echo.
We have
whatever.
great IP attorneys here, actually.
And these folks will accelerate great introductions if you've got something really cool.
I think if you ask me something I think we could do a better job of that maybe we don't do a great job of in the community, and I'll speak for the whole region, I think we tend to have this thing where people want to compete with one another that don't need to compete. Like ESOs who want to compete with one another and universities who want to compete with one another. Trust me, the student who's going to school at USF is not going to school at UT and vice versa. The person who's going to be the great person to go to Embark is not going to be the person who's going to go to TBIC. It just isn't. There's no reason to compete. At the end of the day, we should be looking at how do we do the things to lift everyone up, because guess what? We all benefit then at the end of the day. And so I think the more, not a political term, but the more democratic we can be, the better off we would be in doing this. And so don't worry about pulling somebody else down. Like, focus on lifting them up, and that'll work for you at the end of the day.
No, and it's been great to see with what Vinnick and others have done in St. Pete as well, to just really build up an awareness. I mean, I'd go just on the marketing level. I always wish the Tampa airport, great airport, but they'd have huge banners or displays of all the various tech companies in town. Just, again, just to create that on-the-ground awareness of so
Instead
many
of a
folks that have no
flamingo?
idea. Huh?
Instead of the flamingo?
I like Phoebe.
I'm only kidding.
Although I argued for Flan instead of Phoebe, but.
There you go. It would be, but to Fritz's point, it really would be a cool thing, because you travel to other airports, right? You see things like that, and you come in, and like everything that you're walking down the hall is telling you all the amazing things that they've done. And I'll tell you, it was really weird. I was in Indianapolis, and they do that in Indy. So they talk about all of the things that they've done, all the technology that's there, and you know, the motorsports engineering programs and stuff that are there, and all the other things. And it's pretty cool, because you really wouldn't think about that if you're not like, you know, a racing fan or something like that. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you can change it theme by theme: health tech, ad tech, fintech, whatever tech. You can fill out a whole year.
So the question was, how do young people have access to potential investors? So they've got something, they maybe have patented it, they have an idea or something that could be patented. How do they get that access? And I would say, to be honest, I mean, I've been an investor for a long time. I'm an LP in multiple funds, and I have my own fund. So the people who get my attention are the people who reach out directly. It's not that hard. If you know who the people are. To know who the people are, you have to do a little bit of research. It's not super complicated. So you mentioned Thai. I'll use as an example. Thai membership, who's in that group, is very easy to access. So now you've got to make the effort. And let me explain why. So I just want to be really clear on why. If the people are unwilling to make that effort, they are unlikely to be successful founders. And that is how the investors look at it. It's mentoring, right? So at the end of the day, if you think this is valid, then, you know, reach out to these students, or reach out to the student groups, like at the universities. There's a bunch of them. We have them at USF. We've met with them before. We have them at UT. And come in and offer to say, hey, let me tell you how to do that, right? It's a great thing. Those people organizing those clubs will be happy to have you come talk.
You know, I'm curious now, because all the years of Shark Tank and stuff, kids and families have seen how to build, how to get the marketing. I mean, I don't know what we could probably do other than just keep repeating the message or having in newspapers, this organization, these people, or through professors and students market that. I don't know, it should be a balance. I'm all for people earning the compensation for their skills.
Yeah, I would say that for a long time, we haven't paid market rate, and now people have to pay market rate. My companies have paid market rate. You want to get good people, pay market rate.
I know of a lot of companies that don't like dealing with me because I don't market low-cost talent. An appropriate talent, skill level should market.
Yeah.
The market's going to dictate it, unfortunately, for good or bad.
And
You're not
people being
competing
able to
just
work
local.
remotely now all the time, right? Which devs have worked remotely for a long time, but being able to work remotely, you're going to have to pay.
I know so many friends that have gone from that 120, 130K, now they're working for a very recognizable firm, making 180 to 210 plus stock, whatever. And as I've told lots of CIOs and CEOs, you're not going to get that talent unless the market completely crashes and all of a sudden they've got to find whatever kind of a job. The longer term solution is density. You're seeing on Howard Armenia, South Tampa, where they tore down one block of homes and put up 500 apartments. You need just greater density to address that. And then it even gets to the point like in Manhattan. Manhattan, as dense as it is, still doesn't have enough affordable housing. So, you ready?
Thank you.
Okay, the last number is 137. 137. Okay, remember this when you're roasting me later. Hey, Joy, can you turn on the light in there over there? Here, you give it to me. You gave me the wrong one. She's just making this up. Remember this when she says bad things about me? She's just making things up, okay? It's really not happened. It's not true.
I can't read it. All right, this number is
338. 378. 378. 378. Look at your tickets. Last three numbers. 378. Woo! We got a winner. 378.
What do you have?
378. We got a winner. They're coming up.
378.
They're working on trying to get up.
If you have tickets that you're trying to claim a prize from,
239 next to 237. 239.
who is running the guest? Who is running that?
Oh, look at that. A turntable. Interview her real quick. Just show what she got. Wait, hey, Sarah?
No, Sarah, too late. Too late. What is her name?
Are you kidding me?
Her name is Sarah Han.
Go in there.
What did you win tonight?
I won a turntable.
And from what decade is that?
This is a, you know what? The stuff that we thought was cool is now back in again. This is a new version of
That is true.
something that's been around for a really long time.
Okay, enjoy.
239. 239. Do we have 239 or is that worked out over there? 303. 303. Anybody? 303? No? 303. There we go. This is the guy who spent $1,000 for 10 tickets. $1,000 for 10 tickets. He finally won. Give him a hand of applause.
Hold on, we got to verify that.
You got to verify his.
Where's his ticket?
Oh, make sure that's actually his. Yeah. Yeah, go check him. He might be 365.
He paid $1,000. Who cares?
365.
There's another one.
398. 400. Oh.
Enough.
No, you got to grab some of these.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Wow.
No. Hold on. I'm 356, not 365.
Yeah, whatever.
We can't be too hard on him. He is turning 50 today. Is it today?
Today. It's actually my birthday
actually
today.
today?
Yes. It is actually today. And you can see my pants don't fit anymore because I've lost like 50 pounds.
All right. 203.
You know, you hire a guy as MC and he can't even stand for his little bit.
I thought these were props.
The chairs?
Yes.
Oh.
203.
137. I think we called that one already. Did we call 137? Yes. Okay.
424. There we go.
There we go.
You can't trust this guy. He didn't give me first place in the
You know what? With
hackathon.
that shirt, I have to trust you. There.
You know, when your own friends are judging you in a hackathon and you don't win, you know, you kind of like wonder if like, when you like, you know, like half of the judges in the hackathon are your friends and you still don't win, you gotta like wonder. Well, so 2 weeks ago I was at Bay Hacks. We won the top innovation, the top innovative product or thing. We just didn't get first place. But at 50, I took on a whole bunch of high school and college kids and I still won.
406.
406. No. 275.
406.
Some 430s? You wanted me to get this stuff out of your house. What are you talking about?
Dig down in there.
406. Oh, Jan. 407. Oh, you have 407 too? Go get two things.
Did I? 275?
I got a 400. Does that count? Does that close? 421. No?
222.
421. Oh, there you go. Just go back in. There you
421.
go. 437. 437. There we go. Maybe there's something about the fact that you can have a birthday party like this and you get to give out presents. You know, I mean, you know, when people go, well, how do you do this and what do you do? I'm like, I'm going to give out a whole bunch of presents for my birthday because I can.
156. 156.
288. 288. There we go. Gabe, Michael, both people who've supported me at events through the years. Thank you.
288. 288. 288.
Yep. I'm giving you a whole bunch of them over there. 182. Yes. Come on, I have a whole room full of stuff to give away. 422. Yes, everybody get pictures with their prizes and like think of what they won, you know.
433.
Is that an espresso kit? Yeah, there you go.
433.
Woo! So now, I mean, to be
What
fair,
other
my
tickets do you
mom's
have there?
birthday is a
What
week
other
from
tickets?
mine. And, you know, my brother decided to come down for my birthday versus hers, which is usually unheard of. So it's good that she gets something because I might have forgot. 422. Really, 5 seconds? Yes. I'm going to smile and act like yes. No. Okay.
What is that?
422.
422.
I think we called that one. I'm not calling 420 from the stage.
420.
This is a mall.
No.
This is a mall. 176.
Do you know where this mall is?
Yeah, someone did. Go ahead. She called it. She's my girlfriend. She has like other rights or something.
127.
176. Yes. Move that product. Come on. 333. Yes, another prime number. Is that prime? I don't know. What number? 333. $368. Yeah! Are they supposed to be back in here?
How many have you had?
Drinks or tickets?
Yeah, drinks.
I don't know. It's more of sleep. Because I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning trying to develop the system that would allow you all to buy tickets online so that we wouldn't have to run around with a Square reader and grab everyone's credit card. And that was probably something I probably should have got sleep instead, but instead I was like, hey, it's like a hackathon, but my birthday, I'm going to build some tech. So 368. 368.
368.
You got both of those. Nice choices. 269. 269. Yes?
Yes.
You bought tickets, you get twice.
Two,
we're good. You're
271.
He's good? He's good. Or you mean you want to look at it, you can go look at it. That means getting up.
Yeah, it's good.
143. Does everyone remember 143 in beeper code? You get an extra ticket. Go ahead. 143 in beeper code was I love you.
Still gets an extra prize.
Just tell him Tracy said you could go in. I mean, it's my birthday party.
271.
If you buy more tickets, you get inside more. $376. No? Close? That's not 400s. $376.
376. 343.
She's winning too much here. We gotta. Someone had to wear the tiara. Thank you. Yes. Show your prizes. And if you want some fun, all of the descriptions for the prizes online were actually written by ChatGPT. And it's really funny if you look at a few of them because it couldn't recognize the box. Did you fix it? I thought that was great.
329. 329.
329. 311. How about that? $1,000, he wins 2 things. Yay! Oh, man. 311.
311. It's a good band.
Okay. A couple more, and then we need to get drinks.
160.
427.
160.
427. No. Huh? 215. 215 and 436 or 427. 427. Sorry.
331. This seems rather hopeless.
Does it seem hopeless? Another winner.
331.
I think they're just the only ones paying attention.
Apparently, I pulled out a chunk of your tickets. That's okay.
Okay, we need to stir these up more because
I'm pulling from the bottom.
well, I keep stirring them up so the bottom might become the top.
But I keep stirring to the bottom, top against the bottom.
321. So 321 is an area code over in Melbourne, and one of my friends is on his way on I-4 right now, trying to get here to be part of the roast. We will see if he makes it. You are here. Okay, he made it. 321, do you get a ticket? Well, get in there because you made it through I-4. 321, do we have anybody? Anybody?
229.
Get in there. Go.
I'm used to one voice coming from over here, not two.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it wasn't him either. 288. 288. 288.
I think I won with 288. Yeah, you already called 288. That's 22. 18.
Okay. Okay. We're going to take a 15-minute break here. You guys don't know what 15 minutes is, and I know that, but so it's in the schedule. You got 15 minutes to get more drinks, more food. Come back here. We're going to reset the stage, and we're going to do a roast of somebody. Matassa, are you in for that? Okay. Oh. Okay. So the thing is that there's rules, and then there's Tracy's rules. Yes. So we're going to do something. I need everybody who has not won anything yet to please stand up. Everybody who has not won a raffle prize yet, please stand up. Now proceed to follow into the room. Orderly, form a line, do things, and be nice. And only one thing. So if you've not won a ticket, if you've not won anything yet, go in there.
This isn't going to change the roast.
No, it doesn't change the roast, but it, gives me points. You guys can come up here on stage if you like. These are your seats. Yeah.
Hey, Tracy, Oprah's got nothing on you, man.
Yeah. Everybody gets a prize. It's my birthday. You deserve a prize.
I got you, babe.
You haven't got a prize yet. You do got me.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you're only 50.
Is that a
You're
prize?
you're only 50.
And then I got to come up with important things to say, huh?
Because you're only 50. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's true. What is this? What is this right here? This is like a little.
Hey, it's my shoulder blade.
Interrupt you guys.
Do you want a ticket? Okay.
And say happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I have a little present for you.
You do?
The AHAG group, or
Okay.
from the Auto Glass
Thank
Bay
you.
Area Auto
Yeah,
Glass.
there's.
Thank you. I
get
appreciate
get
it.
a picture of that because there's
I'm glad
something.
you guys came and stuff like that. So it's been fun. And we will,
There's something
so
incriminating
I
that you can
introduced
use
Jeremiah
against
to
him.
Sam, and then we're going to be able to do some stuff there, and we got fun stuff happening, and Jeremiah knows it. We got you tape back.
Good.
Okay.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah. So Bay Area Auto Glass. If any of you have a chipped windshield or a crack, I know. See, this is
Girlfriend. and
Jeremiah.
you Take care of her.
Can you fix this? Right here, we got a Lexus that needs a new windshield. Okay. So yes, and that's kind of the thing is we will figure this out, and I appreciate you guys coming out.
Everyone here should have that notification right now.
Yes.
They need to get their windshield repaired.
Right. Well, we have the email list. Don't worry. And ironically, the new location was that bar. That was the bar. Was actually the location I was trying to put you in. So, but that's another story altogether. So if you need any Google My Business stuff, talk to Sam. The idea was we could put them in the room and they would go faster. I literally put every single item online so that you could see what you wanted. And still people are like, what is this? You try. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not used to wearing sashes. Sachet, but not sashes. There is a crown going around here, but we actually gave it to somebody else. Is it more on top like that? Welcome to my TED Talk. This is what turning 50 looks like. Yes. If you haven't seen my TED Talk yet, it's called Listening to the Body by Tracy Ingram. It was TEDx Sarasota. I really don't think this is the look, though. No? Maybe fluff it a little bit. Yeah, and they were saying, you're not enough of a ham to be able to do this. This is really not your style. You're so quiet, reserved. You're always behind the scenes making things work. You don't actually stand up on stage and do things like this.
Tracy?
So let me get Chuck up here for a second. Because Chuck is, Chuck and NeuroEM is actually our premier sponsor. And I figure it's time to talk about our premier sponsor. You're not going to fall for it? Not even a little bit? So literally, we have technology that potentially can solve Alzheimer's. Now, we can't make claims, we're not going to say things, but literally we've been able to reduce inflammation, have better brain health. A lot of stuff with no drugs, no side effects. We have people who've been using it for over 6 years that are having remarkable results. Now, we can't say some of this stuff because of the FDA, but I'm going to tell you, there's some really cool stuff happening. And then, Ed, I told you you're going to come up. I need a microphone. So one of the things that we're talking about doing right now is how to bring bar camp back. So if you know Joy, if you know Ken, me, Joey, I mean, he got literally engaged at bar camp, you know, and it's his anniversary. 9 years ago. Okay, I mean, well, how do you want to say that? Do you want to like renew your vows right now? I am ordained, I think, something. So I actually, Ed, come on up all the way on stage. You know, you can't just play with that. So me and Ed were having this conversation. And Ed, we've never really talked that much before. Okay, but so one of the things that I loved about bar camp is it was the ability to give people a chance. Because tech's hard to get into. It's hard to get a job in tech. It's hard to be able to just like, you know, go from whatever career into like this tech position that's going to pay lots of money. And everyone's like, oh, it's great because tech jobs are great. But they're hard to find. And I was literally talking to Ed and how he got here and telling me his story. And it was like literally the reason we do this. The reason we do all of this is his story.
All right, so
you gotta like gut
I gotta go right into
yeah,
it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, I can eat it. No, thank you. So I came from the personal training and self-defense. That was my way I made a living. And so I realized that I liked spending more time behind the computer than I did teaching. So I said, well, you know, maybe that's a route I want to look into. So I started going to the one of the geek breakfasts, and someone was there, and he was like, well, you know, we had this big convention, this big get-together, and it's bar camp. So I said, okay, I'll go check it out. And so I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go, and I thought I wanted to do security. I thought I wanted to do some of the hardware stuff, but none of it was really sticking well with me. So after going to a few of the talks, I realized the developer route would be the way I wanted to go. So basically, bar camp gave me a direction. How I actually got my job was, you know, lots of Udemy and Learner.com at the time, and Pluralsight, but you know that's where the education came from. And then, you know, at work, I got a job at a software company, a SaaS company, as a support rep, and kind of weaseled my way into the developer side. And that's how that all happened, thanks to some really cool bosses. And Joey helped me out a lot. We had a little talk because I was trying to figure out, you know, what are some of the things you're looking for in someone. You know, at the time I was about 48, so I was a little on the older side to be moving into tech. I'm 53 right now. So
this way a little bit.
Oh,
in there. There you go.
All right.
Perfect. Oh, is it back? They're actually right there, but
okay. All right. So I can lean on this now. So that's you know, for the most part, that's it. You know, I had some bosses that really helped me out as far as direction, and you know, you want this, go get it. And I mean, I wrote a WordPress theme to kind of show aptitude, you know, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We actually help change people's lives, give them a chance to be able to have high-paying jobs that like make things work. And the reason there is Tampa Tech is because you guys show up. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Give him a round of a hand. A round of a hand. But I mean, we were talking, and do you guys want to talk about how you met? I mean, since we got like 5 minutes here. I mean, it's your anniversary. Sure. Come on. Because now, I mean, I was wasting time, but now we're actually ready to go. But you know. Oh, no, you both have to come up here. Yeah, you can't, this isn't a one-person job. This wasn't a one-person marriage, okay?
Team now. We're a team now. Actually, I had never been here prior to 2011, and I was representing a bunch of startups who were sponsoring bar camp across the U.S., and one of our stops was Tampa, and yeah, I met her.
Yeah, tell the real story.
So I was the local. I was the person who had just moved back to Tampa after living out of state for 10 years. And I almost didn't show up. So let that be the lesson. If you ever think, oh, I don't know, I'm tired, maybe show up. Always show up, because you never know. I wasn't planning on finding the love of my life. That was not what I was looking for at bar camp. I was trying to understand the tech scene since I'd been away for 10 years. So again, I was looking to network, meet new people. I showed up around lunchtime, and that was good enough to meet Joey, and well, the rest is history.
And the anniversary this weekend, or yesterday was?
Yeah,
So yesterday was?
Yesterday was our 9th anniversary.
And actually my 10th of being in Tampa, so I guess I'm officially a local now.
Woo! Okay, thank you. Roasters to the stage. So thank you. There's a little part of this where I wanted you to understand more of why we're doing this. And it's not, I mean, getting people together, having my birthday, getting presents and all that kind of stuff is fun. But the idea is that we have an ability to change people's lives. When you get developers together with business people, you create companies. Companies create jobs. You know, it's about economic development. It's about taking Tampa and putting it on the map. You know, there's a whole bunch of things that we could do, we could talk about, and they're going to talk about a whole bunch of things about me. And I've been very lucky to have a very broad career at a lot of lives, from medical to tech to everything else. And you'll hear a lot about it in the next 30, 20 minutes, however that goes. Did we lose one? He's right there. There's one more chair. I wish I had more friends, yes. If I only had more friends that could show up for me.
I'm also disappointed.
Okay, do you want to start this off, or do we just hand him the mic and then I'm going to sit over here and then have a fork? Because I haven't actually had a chance to eat it.
All right, so Tracy is actually the youngest of my friends, and he looks like it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people here that actually want to show love and remorse for knowing you.
And then cake.
Let's go. You up?
All right, I'm going to go for a very long time, and then the rest of the show is going to be a disappointment. Hello, my name is Michael Jokums. I am professionally mean to people. If you'd like, afterwards, I have a little envelope with tips and tricks. You know, the other day I found out that I was doing this show with Tracy, and then it was sponsored by Verizon, and I was like, that cheap motherfucker gypped me. So my name is Michael Jokums, and I don't belong here. I'm a stand-up comedian. I don't know anything about science except for a little chemistry, but that's because I'm also a criminal on the side. We're celebrating Southwest Florida's technological ingenuity, and yet the only robot that I've seen this entire evening, the children, are they still here?
I don't know if the children are still here.
Okay, well, it's a vibrator joke. We're here to network. And if I know any, no, I assure you, I don't care. If I know anything about the kind of people who find themselves at a tech conference, it's that everybody tonight is getting laid. Most importantly, we're promoting women in STEM, right? Did we lose that thread, or is that still happening?
It's still sort of there.
Fantastic. Ladies, take over. I'm tired.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Yeah. You want to know what's interesting is in March 12th, that's how long it takes for us to make up on the wage gap, right? But yet we know that most of you men in the room wouldn't be potty trained if it wasn't for us. And you probably would have starved to death by now.
Some are still not.
So, really, tonight is about Tracy. And the biggest challenge I have with that is that I tell my friends that if you think I've said something negative, then you're probably wrong. Because if I said something mean, you would 100% know that I meant to be really shitty. And so I've spent a long time really working on not saying shitty things about people. So I really, I don't know if they were able to put the pictures up. Yeah, there's some pictures that I gave them of Tracy. If I can get to my WhatsApp here with my notes.
The joy of knowing people for many, many years.
So I met Tracy when he first came up from Naples. Okay, yeah, no, this is when it really gets
Yeah,
good.
this was a good one because we had a contest of who had more business cards, and I won.
So, does anybody know Amber? Yes. Oh my God, look at that's before she had blue hair. I know. So we met and we were friends. And so I have to tell you, I met this person in Tampa and they said, you know, there's a problem with community. And that is we need to develop this tech community because if we're going to ever have critical mass. And so this is 2008. And so lots of interesting parts of the story, but the third Friday in February of 2009, we had lunch. There were 8 of us at Lone Star. And we said, what could we do? Tracy wasn't even at that lunch. It took him to the second month to show up as my friend, right? So 2008, and then, okay, Sean, there you are. We went together, we did this lunch. That's my daughter. That's the one in the tux. Yeah.
It's good to own a tux. I didn't wear it tonight.
So the thing is we started doing these lunches, and we showed up at that bar camp, the second one in Tampa, and we went back to Sarasota, and there were 4 of us that we know the table that we sat in, we know the day, and we said, so now that we've done this, what will we do next? And we started this thing called You Might Be a Techie, because people didn't know what technology was. They said, I don't write code, right?
I'm not a developer.
This was, and where this name came from, we were meeting with Jer. We were at Panera's. And they both whipped out their phone and they're like, they're doing one of their apps. They're like, I'm the king of this place. And they're like, no, I'm here more. You could be driving with Tracy in the car, right? And he sticks his arm out. He's like, I'm claiming this space. Wait. Can you get over a little bit further? So for almost 17 years, we've been friends. We were friends before we did community. I've watched him try and start a religion. Where's Mike, the long hair? No, really, we have a video.
Hey,
it's a talk
every great movement needs an inspirational leader to keep it moving. You know, it was natural.
Yes, how to start a religion. And
In 15 minutes. It was a talk.
I think that's the fun part is spending years with someone in community. When you begin, not only do you meet somebody that's wonderful, but this is a work day. You know, it takes a Saturday, yes. The big part is that for our kids, if you want your kids to get into tech, then it doesn't take a mom and a dad. It takes a mom and a dad and a friend and a friend and a friend and a friend. For my daughters, I tell people, if I did this for no other reason, so this isn't the shitty part about Tracy. This is the beautiful part. Because if you go to my Facebook, and I wrote it there today, this morning, I got up early, I did this first, because I wanted to make sure if I waited till I got here, it would have been too late, and he would have noted. Is that this man in my life has been somebody that consistently, so this is from this morning, tell me if you guys resonate. Happy birthday to my friend, co-founder, co-conspirator, fellow ecosystem pot stirrer, hackathon winning, disruptive, and nicest, most compassionate technology life hacker. He wins every hackathon. Come on. Come on. If you want, now, do you make a product out of that hackathon? Not necessarily, but if you want to win, get Tracy on your team. You are a whirlwind and a breath of fresh air at the same time. So, if he's on your team, you better know how to harness that energy, because a week before your event, he's going to come in and he's going to want to rebuild the website. So I'm like
I did at 4 o'clock this morning.
Yes. I'm like, so Tracy's coming in. Who's going to harness that Tasmanian devil? Because
Sam?
otherwise, he's going to break more shit than you have any idea. Now, Stan has suggested for your birthday that what we really need is an AI spelling agent for you.
You're not wrong.
Right? So we have to tell you, we were working on our Thought Leaders Conference one time, and Tracy came down, and he's helping with our automated media, right? And so I proofread, because I know this about his smelling. I proofread the email. It's perfect. And the subject that I get back, it says test. You know which one this is. Test. So we have a database of like, I don't know, this is going to go out to like 4,000 people, right? So we're sending it out in blocks because Tracy doesn't want to pay for anything. He wants all the free services. So he'll have 10 MailChimp accounts. And so the first one goes out, and I get this really nasty note back because we're inviting you, or it's like there. I pulled up with one of the meme about all the different theirs. It's not up there right now.
Okay.
But the subject line is misspelled. And people are like, you can't have a Thought Leaders Conference. You can't even spell. You can't like bring anybody in who's smart. And I'm like, oh my God. And I call him. He's like, I got it fixed. He forgot he had like 6 more automations of that. And it just kept going out all day. Right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that I told you, if you guys wanted me to say something really crappy, I really have to think about it, because overall, you know, there are people, they may aggravate you. They may sometimes rub you the wrong way. And sometimes they might raise their voice and they're not even angry, and he could hurt you. But the truth is that as much of a hot mess as he is, right, we're just really glad that you lived till 50. And I wouldn't trade you as one of my closest friends. And when you come and surprise me for my birthday, I still keep that. And one of the pictures is me at my 50 with you guys. You're like the brother that I never knew I had. And so hopefully you guys can think of something really crappy to say. Does anybody else have anything that's not on stage? Yes. Short, Abe, no pontificating.
I'll wear my hat, make it official.
Okay. I hold the mic.
Tracy, you and I are cut from the same cloth. We're not players, but we crush a lot.
Okay, in a roast. Anybody else got something? Stan, come on, you got at least one thing. You've known him for too long. Come back to you, he's thinking. Sell? Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love you, Tracy? Like, literally, this community is built on you and your legacy, and I'm just humbled to be in this room right now. I don't know what else to say, literally.
You know, because I'm like, Chuck, anything?
So somebody asked you yesterday, wait, you have him and her? How do you manage them? And I literally just cracked up laughing. Manage it? You can't do that. So that's all I can say.
Oh, Bruce, yes.
I can't get up, so I need a microphone.
He's falling. He can't get up.
Tracy Ingram is a compass of Tampa Bay technology that sets the pace for the integration of all these different people, companies, industry segments and innovations to bring them all together under one roof.
It's not fair you guys trying to message me while I'm on stage. That's actually not, that's actually cheating.
Anybody else? Yes.
Definitely not a roast, more on the acknowledgement side, but I first met Tracy about 10 years ago, and the thing I've found about you is you have an aura that allows people to be comfortable and authentic. Like when Tracy's in the room, like you just get to vibe out and you connect people and you make people relaxed. And I think that's why so many people showed up to University Mall in the middle of like on a Friday. If all the, like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be very hard for me to get a bunch of people in a room like this to like, you did it. You pulled it off because they're like, Tracy needs something.
There's an abandoned mall and we want to go in there and there's not even a Spirit Halloween outside out front.
My point is, I think this is just a small representation of the huge impact you've had, because there's a lot of people that aren't even here tonight that you've touched and changed their lives, and we owe a great deal to you. So we appreciate you and need more Tracys in the world. So thanks, man.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure of working with Tracy on Startup Bus 2019, and he is a blanket hog. I had to share a bed with this man, and he is a blanket hog. You should give thanks every night that Kay doesn't kill you in your sleep.
Second place nationwide, by the way.
Can we all just acknowledge that all of these gifts tonight that were given away exist because Tracy is a hoarder of beautiful ideas and technology?
All these gifts exist because the distraught Hot Topic employee I was just talking to outside trusted you with their key.
They gave me 24-hour access. What was I supposed to do?
Okay.
No, I actually really wanted to get on stage. I think roasting Tracy would be awesome. but there's a problem. I literally just met him, so I don't know him well enough to like get up there and roast him properly. But here's what I can say. I pick up on things quick. So far, I can say it looks like I saw pictures of him from like 2008, and I know Tracy now, and I'm like, fuck. Is that what's gonna happen to me in like 6 more years? Because, oh man. And then I heard like he was teaching how to start religion. So I'm like, so I just met someone who wanted to be a cult leader. Cool. Yeah. I'm glad I got to meet him. I'm sure I'm gonna get to talk to him a lot more. Happy to be here tonight. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves, and let's get on with the rest of the show.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay.
Tosser.
Anybody else? Last call. Last call. I can't tell if anybody else will come out here. Eris, did you raise your hand? Okay.
I got to tell you, this event's been interesting. You know, timelines and tech people. How do we manage? I don't know. We got all the clocks in the world. We can't keep them. I thought I might go gray before you guys got started. Maybe I can find the grace to do so, like this guy over here, because I watched him go gray over these years, and I got to tell you, there are a lot of years. So, you know, Tracy doesn't really remember me until I see him in person, and then all of a sudden we're best friends. And I didn't even get asked to come up and roast tonight. I can't even believe that, but I don't know. Maybe his new business, helping solve Alzheimer's, is maybe really a plot to help himself, because I think I see that coming. You know, when Tracy started in the bar camp community, I think there was a mistaken understanding of what bar camp was really about. Being bar and camp, he may have thought he was going off to camp to learn how to drink more. He's really good at it. You know, he wants to change the world, and I really believe in that. But I gotta say, he can't even remember to change his underwear some days. And so, good luck with that. You can't feel with people for your birthday, Trace. So you pull together every family member and your tech colleagues and hope for the best, and this is what we end up with. So I want to be sensitive to the room here. But, Tracy, you've been in tech so long. You remember when cloud was something that blocked the sun, and cookies were just something that you ate. So you're not old. You're just a classic, like the first computer you ever coded on, which, to be honest, probably belonged in a museum, even then. And it's incredible how you've kept up with the latest tech trends.
We're on TV. Bruce,
Managing
no.
to keep your MySpace page open and active all these years, I mean, that's a legacy. So, happy 50th. You've reached the age where getting lucky means finding your car in the parking lot at a tech conference, and I hope you do. And remember when your 30s were the best years of your life? Yeah, well, now you can't remember your 30s anymore, but welcome to 50, Trace. I love you.
Thank you for those people who helped me move over being appreciative and grateful and be just a little shitty.
Cool, thank you. Okay, so thank you for all the wonderful things you've said about my friend Tracy, and I don't know how I'm gonna follow up on that. I have only maybe 2 minutes of material that I thought of.
That's okay.
But
we have cake.
We have cake. That's good. Most of you have known Tracy longer than I have, which is a great testament to how popular Tracy is. But I've known him I started counting and I was like, whoa, it's 2024 already. So it's what, been 6, 7 years since the first synapse, I think? Yeah? So the first time, so this is a story that Tracy doesn't know. First time I saw him was, he was introduced as very tech savvy. He's a genius at getting things together, really good at hackathons, and that like piqued my interest. I did a few hackathons here and there. So one of my partners who was doing a hackathon with me, the first time I saw this guy, I looked at my partner and I said, we have to get this guy on our team. He is the dude from Big Lebowski. We have that guy. There's no way we're gonna lose.
No way.
There's no way. We just looked at him and we're like, just having that guy on our team, the judges are gonna give it to us straight away. And over the years, we've won a few good ones. We did a bunch of crazy ideas, crazy hackathons.
Military stuff, yeah.
Military stuff, lots of harebrained ideas. And one of the things I love about Tracy is the fact that he can, if he calls me at 2 a.m. and goes, Muntasir, I have a crazy idea, I will get out of bed, start walking around with my phone so that my attention gets going and like, tell me. And inevitably, 20 minutes in, my response will be, let's build it. No matter how harebrained it is, no matter how crazy it sounds. And, well, a lot of things, good and bad, funny things have come out of it. And I don't know, like the last time he did this, I was like, well, we need some power. We need some power supply to our antennas, which is more than the FCC regulated power. But
FCC, I don't know.
In my head, I knew we could pull it off because we had Fat Thor on our side. And yeah, so, I love you, man. You're the best non-coding partner I can have in a hackathon.
I am the most winning hackathon person who doesn't know how to write a piece of code.
Absolutely true. And I love him for it. He is living testament to the fact that You don't need to code well or even code at all to be successful at tech. And that's from someone who's been in tech for a while, and I do code a lot. But when I see him,
You might be
Oh.
a techie if you
Might be
know
a
how to
techie.
use a tool.
yeah, that's absolutely it. I thought of all the different stuff we did and why whenever, I know Bay Hacks, we didn't win first prize, but we won most innovative.
Yeah.
We
Joey,
won
Joey didn't vote for us. I think he had to like come out, or call himself out, because
That's fine.
because he knew me. I mean, he wasn't able to vote for me for number one. It was okay.
And, I am always looking forward to the next.
But they did sponsor the event, so
Yes, they did.
I mean, that's a win.
Yeah. Well, most innovative is also win.
Yeah.
It's basically at a hackathon, when you see most innovative, it basically means that you guys were technically the best project, but for some reason we can't give you the first prize. So here you go. That's what it actually means. From someone who's done a lot of hackathons, that's like.
Again, I was going up against high school cooler than college students.
Sure,
I mean,
they need the win.
Yeah.
We don't. It would be nice, but the great thing about whenever I interact with Tracy is I'm always looking forward to the next thing I can do with him. And it's always going to be, let's build bigger, let's build better. And looking at the community he's built, this is, it's proof of the fact that he's always looking up, looking forward, looking how to better things.
Megalomania. I mean,
Yes,
yes,
megalomania.
better things, yes.
Yes. He started a religion, so that's absolutely in line. And I know he can do it because, when you're hacking away at 3 a.m. and Tracy's passed out on the couch.
It was a sleep study.
Sleep study on a couch. You can't help but wonder, hey, maybe I'm in a scary movie sequel and this is the strong hand guy. But I don't want to go on and on and on. I did want to end up with something very techy. So I asked ChatGPT, GPT-4 version. You can try this on your phones if you want to. I asked it, who is Tracy Ingram? And this is, I can share this screen with you if you guys want. It said, there are multiple professionals named Tracy Ingram with distinct roles and accomplishments. The first one is Tracy Ingram, APRN at Brain Health Hawaii. So obviously that's not our Tracy.
Not yet.
Then there's Tracy Ingram in Aiea, Hawaii, a nurse practitioner. Also not our Tracy. Then we see Decatur County Memorial Hospital. Nope. Tracy Ingram, a 2022 CIO of the Year honoree. Oh, this is in tech. This might be our Tracy right here. Let's ask ChatGPT for more details. So the next thing I asked it is, who is the Tracy Ingram in Tampa? And here's the response I got. I want you guys to pay close attention to the genius of ChatGPT. Tracy Ingram in Tampa is a notable figure in the technology and entrepreneurship sectors, particularly known for her leadership roles and contributions to the community. Here are some highlights of her career and activities. Tracy Ingram is a 2022 CIO of the Year honoree, recognized for her achievements and leadership in information technology within the Tampa Bay area. She organized the Spring Technology Festival in Tampa Bay, celebrating 50 years of technical innovation, which is, wow.
Just tonight.
This is tonight. And I literally got this a few minutes ago. Says Tracy Ingram is also CEO and founder of Intention Technology, topics such as growth hacking, marketing, demonstrating her expertise and influence in the tech and startup ecosystems. Additionally, she and Intention Technology competed for a $10 million Global X Prize, aiming to transform healthcare delivery with innovation technology, indicating her engagement with cutting-edge developments in tech and healthcare. I was blown away by the accuracy of what it was telling me. I mean, I'm at the event and it says she's organized it. And then I was like, wait a second, that pronoun. Maybe I am wrong. This is ChatGPT we're talking about. So I asked it further. I said, when did the Tracy Ingram from Tampa change genders? I said, when did the Tracy Ingram from Tampa change genders? And this is what ChatGPT told me. Said the specific details about her gender change are not publicly accessible in the sources I access. Information regarding personal milestones, such as gender transition, is typically private unless shared explicitly. Yep. Yep.
Thank you!
Happy
International Women's
Day! So, according to ChatGPT, Tracy Ingram, our good friend, might or might not have had a gender transition, but the pronouns are there for everyone to see. And with that, thank you again, Tracy, for being my friend. And I'm looking forward to doing great and amazing things with you.
Thank you.
I didn't expect Bruce.
Hey, can we get it together one more time for that last guy? That was his first time roasting, and he fucking killed it.
Thank you.
Also, I have been here several hours day drinking, and I have not heard one fucking raucous applause of a happy birthday for Tracy. That would be the time. Fellas, we're at a tech expo. I expected you to pick up on that a lot quicker. Shame. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous when I first came here because I'm from Polk County, Florida, and usually I'm the smartest person in the room because I have all of my teeth. And then you guys started naming off your job titles, and I'm like, oh, these are doctors and physicists. I am very out of place. And then thankfully I saw a man here with an accordion. And I'm like, once again, among my people. When I first heard that I was going to be roasting someone named Tracy, I assumed it was going to be a woman, which apparently ChatGPT found a lot quicker than I fucking did. But it ended up, it was just a man that looks like he makes women uncomfortable at bars by quoting Star Trek. Now, I actually have a lot of mean shit about Tracy in here, because I have never met him before, so you were a stranger up until now. But then when I got here, he told me there was an open bar, and I'm like, this is the best fucking person I've ever met in my entire life. You remind me a lot of our founding father, Benjamin Franklin. That's not the funny part. You possess a lot of the same characteristics: honesty, integrity, and a crippling case of syphilis. Much like Ben Franklin, Tracy is also an innovator. You might remember that story of Uncle Ben out there trying to fly a kite and conduct electricity. And Tracy looks like he uses electricity to make the highest quality methamphetamine you've ever had in my life. I'm not gonna lie, I was also really surprised that Tampa has a long-running tech festival. Yeah, you guys aren't known for like technology or like learning or like computers. Like when I think of Tampa, I don't think of like innovation in technology. I think of gas station fentanyl. Lo and behold, here we are, and I've not been offered fentanyl once tonight. Kind of a little disappointed. Fun fact about Tracy, you might not know this. He's actually a big proponent of virtual reality technology, because that is the only way he will ever know the touch of a woman. Now, you've already fucking said you loved it. This is a roast, people. You handed the microphone and you're like, Tracy, we love you. We're supposed to be mean to Tracy for an hour, then we're gonna have cake. It's gonna be badass. Are we fucking pumped for cake?
Yeah!
Yeah, because Joe's actually pretty pumped for cake. Normally, roasts are like a conglomeration of the person, the roastees, friends and families will come up here, give them a little bit shit and tell them how much they love him. And Tracy brought two complete fucking strangers from nowhere. He brought Hunter S.S. Thompson and a tropical baby. Thank you. You not laughing at that actually made me feel pretty good. Bro, I've been telling my wife this shirt looks good for years, and she's like, no. You look festive. Oh, we're not going to do that one. That was for when the kids were here. Is there a representative from the VA here today? I was told there would be.
They've already left.
They left? Good. Okay, good. I'm not going to talk shit about them. I don't want them taking away my benefits.
Yes.
I was like, woo! But one thing I actually found out from the VA is apparently they will cover breast augmentation if it's a self-esteem issue, which is fine, except for the fact I've been trying to get these fuckers to pay for hair for 3 years. And they've been stonewalling me at every turn.
There was a shaver in there.
There was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I picked up that shaver.
Okay, good.
I felt that was like a little gift to me.
Yeah, you would think, right?
They're like, his head's big, it's gonna take a while. Let's get him an electric one. Are you selling it?
I have actually donated my hair 4 times.
Oh, well, if you want to donate it a 5th time, I'm up here,
Okay.
brother. It's very cold. Again, Tracy is an innovator. Some would say he's an inventor, but the only thing he really looks like he's invented is a self-heating crack pipe. Now, I know you're not from Polk County, but y'all been around Florida. You've seen those signs that don't say molest the alligators, correct? Tracy is single-handedly responsible for the reason they had to put the word molest on that sign and not touch. Just wanted himself a little bit of love out there. Now, I'm not going to talk too much shit on you guys. I know you're a lot smarter than I am. And the number of people in this room that can find my internet porn search history is not 0.
It is a non-zero, and there's some other, yeah.
Okay, well, that's terrifying.
Yeah, no, there's...
Well,
some of the 3-layer agencies are in the room.
Oh, fuck. I pay my taxes.
Not that one.
Okay, good.
No, I don't invite them.
Woo, good. All right. We're all cool in here. Also, you fuckers have no power over me because I will publicly share it with most of you. Sometimes there's a horse. Oftentimes there's a clown. But I do need you to stop telling people because I really need to stop getting cease and desist letters from PETA. They got a little mad about the last video. Also, I've noticed there's a lot of corporate sponsorships in this building tonight. A lot of corporate dollars floating around. You're shrugging your shoulders. We can't talk about them. There's so much corporate money in this fucking building, I assumed a U.S. senator was about to walk by. It can be DeSantis in his little shoes. You think he goes home angry to his wife? He's like, you said these pumps made me look like a big boy. They did make him look like a big boy. There's actually one liquor here I did want to address. It was Dunamis.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going with
I
that.
have not figured out how to pronounce it.
Dude, me either. I spelled it phonetically and I did my best. So it's a type of rum, and the name of it literally means to seize your inherent power, which I find hilarious. They put on a bottle of brown liquor. Because unlock your hidden potential. I'm like, your hidden potential is about to be a fucking DUI. And it's even more bananas. It comes in 3 separate flavors, and I don't know what the flavors are, but I can only assume they're going to be, fight your wife, fight your dad, and end up fighting your fucking kids. So please, fellas, stick to beer tonight if you could. Another sponsor I thought was pretty neat was Effectiva. Any Effectiva guys in the house tonight? Now? Okay, good, because they terrify me as well. Most of you people are fucking scary because I have a rudimentary knowledge of technology. Effectiva's game plan is humanizing technology with emotion AI. So they're trying to teach AI how to feel. Can you fuckers stop trying to Skynet us? Yeah, and I'm like, most of us are out here pretty concerned about AI, and these motherfuckers are out here like, I wonder if I can teach a machine how to feel hate.
Well, we're bored.
We're bored, but there's there's a bunch of fucking movies.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge that should not be solved. They've made several movies about why this is a bad idea. Oh, God. I actually also heard that Virgin Mobile was going to be in the building, but it turns out that's just what Tracy's friends used to call his car. And our sponsors from GoDaddy are here tonight, which means they've got over their recent controversy of compromising 11 million different websites. And I actually want to give a shout out to their old CEO, Bob Parson, because after that scandal where he lost a bunch of information, rather than fix it, He just flew out to Zimbabwe and shot an elephant right in the face. Just the world's most intelligent. If that's not some supervillain shit, he's like, not only did we lose all of your money, I'm gonna go kill an endangered animal. That's not funny. You should hate him. It's me. I'm Bob Iger. We've fallen far from grace. Now, I know we've all said some pretty mean things about Tracy tonight, but honestly, man, this is your 50th birthday. This is a big celebration, and I wish I had this many fucking friends. These people here love you. You're a wonderful, strange-looking man. Like, you're a little Fraggle Rocky, but, you know, you got good character. But if we could just get one more round of applause that this man has made it 50 years, even though despite he had a fucking health scare. Again, Tracy, happy 50th birthday. And if you're going to have another open bar at your 51st, please fucking invite me back. All right, guys, have a gentlemen. Let's give it up for fucking Tracy.
Thank you. I guess I don't need this, but wow. So thank you, everybody. I guess I don't need that mic because I have a mic. Eddie, go get the cake if you could, if you're still around, and we'll do that part. But so here's the thing. Here's the real reason this is. And you know, we could go on women's issues. We could go on like how long we've known each other, whether we're not going to build the next hackathon or build the next product, or what we did. We built a device that could identify whether you were having a problem sleeping and actually induce you into deeper sleep so that you wouldn't have that problem anymore. So like, and that's what we decided to do in 24 hours. It's almost like I built the sound system in here and I don't know how to use it. It's really funny. You know, so though most of you who don't know Soaring City and everything else, I've been their CIO for 9 years and helped build like a lot of the tech in this room to try to make it happen. They kind of came in and sponsored and they said, hey, you want a place, you want to do this, let's do this. And so thank you for everybody here and everybody else who jumped in and everybody who just showed up. What this was about was, I was scared. Medical stuff is weird. I've been in the medical industry for a long time. I've done a lot of stuff. I've helped a lot of people. I've figured out things. I built technology to like diagnose things, understand things. But it's different when all of a sudden you're in the ER. And so 6 months ago, I was in the ER. 225 over 110. I thought I was having a heart attack or a stroke. My mom's had a history of strokes and everything else. And so I knew what a stroke was. And I'm like, this is bad. This is really, really bad. And, you know, in that moment when you're thinking you're about to die, you think about things. And you think about like stuff you've done. And you're like, did I make a difference? Did I actually help somebody? You know, when you look at like, was it worth working late at night, getting up in the morning, doing stuff, and not really getting the credit? Because most of the time, I'm behind the scenes. I'm the guy back there. So let's give it up for TBCN and Becky and her whole crew, and everybody who's here, who's doing audio and video, who's in the back of the room. Because that's where I usually sit. I sit in the back of the room and I make things work. People call me because I make things work. It doesn't matter what it is. I fix it. I make it work. And then people go, well, who does that for you? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to delegate sometimes because like everybody thinks I'm supposed to do it. But now I'm in the hospital thinking I'm about to die. And you go, what happens? And so there's a concept of asking for your flowers. And what that means is when you die, everybody writes the great things. Oh my God, he was so wonderful. Oh my God, he died too early. And they do these great things, and they post stuff on social media, and they do all this stuff, and they like say all these great things about you, but you're dead. You don't get to hear it. And so the idea of asking for your flowers early is, hey, let's just have a little celebration and have some fun. And there's some self-serving things here, you know, I mean, that, you know, we're trying to get stuff moved. We're trying to like see if we can bring Bar Camp back. We're trying to see if we can restart the community. There's a lot of people here who haven't seen each other in 4 or 5 years, 10 years. I mean, literally, I was sitting there trying to organize with one of the organizers, and I got an email, who I think he already left. He was emailing the person I was talking to, going, have you heard about this Spring Technology Festival? Do you want to go? And it was like, I'm an organizer? And it was like, it was the idea of like, you could have this Old Home Week where we could have friends get together, we could have things. Why is it Spring Technology Festival versus Tracy's birthday? Because you can get corporate sponsorships for Spring Technology Festival. I mean, it's marketing, people. But the irony is when me and Sarah did the very first bar camp, we were doing it next to, in the same week as, the Sarasota Film Festival. And being an SEO, I go, well, we now have and own Sarasota Tech Festival, so we can drive all the traffic from the Sarasota Film Festival and all the marketing to our event. Another thing that was mentioned is Occupy Wall Street. We decided one year that Occupy Wall Street was going on, so I moved Occupy Wall Street from the field that they were in to our event. And we put 200 people just showed up at our event as an Occupy Wall Street rally, and we increased our attendance. Being an SEO, I get to move traffic. What I learned about being SEO, what it was if I can change Google, I can change people's opinion. So for the last 15 years, I've learned how to change Google. I've moved Amazon off the front page of Google for selling books and put my customers there instead. I have done things that most people say can't be done. But that's actually Intention Technology's mission, is proactive predictive performance of doing things that I measure the impossible. That's why me and Montasser do really good with the hackathons, because if people go, you can't do that, I'm like, yeah, we can. And we next time, we're working on brainwave projects or other things, me and Sarah have worked on things. I know you guys have come up here, as paid shills to be able to kind of do this, but I appreciate you. No, we love you. You're great. To be able to do this, because, the thing is having never done a roast before, I'm like, well, how do I make this work and make it not bomb and fail miserably? And how do you do this where I don't just get people just to come up and say nice things about me. I'm like, well, let's have a roast, and then people will say nice things about me. So what I would love to do is we have cake, we have prizes, we might have some more alcohol, which I might have to ask my brother for that. It's all down now? Okay, I don't have any more alcohol. I have cake, though. But then we have that, thanks to our sponsors and stuff like that. Thank you so much all for showing up. I know there was so many people here. I mean, the fact that over 250 people registered for my birthday party was that's just fun, And for all of you to stay, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all of you, and I thank you so much for being here and all of the friendships and stuff that we've shared to be here. What happened is there's just a lot of stuff, people coming in and going in Tampa that oh, I'm here now and this is new. And what I found is that a lot of people here have put in a lot of work to make things happen, and I wanted to tell that story. And that story is going to be on TBCN. We're going to have it on broadcast on there. We're actually going to be able to tell that story and recorded that story so that people moving to Tampa can understand all the work that we've done to actually create a tech ecosystem that is inviting and vibrant. And the fact that you guys are all here together to do that, and we can actually create another 10, 20, 50 years of tech ecosystem and making Tampa that center is not Miami. It's Tampa. And it's the greater Tampa Bay. So thank you. And so I think the only thing that would make this perfect is Joey.
I think it's time to do Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Tracy Blanket Hawk. Happy birthday.